Hello and welcome to Voicebites from Damn Good Voices. Today I'm joined by actress, singer and voiceover artist Bonnie Langford. Hey Bonnie.
Hello Joel, how are you doing?
I'm doing really good, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm all right, yes, we're all sort of still stuck kind of in limbo land, aren't we? But, you know, as all actors are, we will all get on with something. We'll keep ourselves going somehow.
Exactly. Find something to keep our hands busy. That sounded weird.
Don't go there.
Maybe I'll cut that out. So back onto the topic of voiceovers. In previous Voice Bites, I've spoken to people about preparing for voiceover jobs when you get a job. But how can I prepare myself even when jobs aren't coming in? So what things can I do to hone my skills?
Well, it's a bit like fitness. You've got to just keep doing it all the time. Keep that muscle going, your muscle memory and your voice and all the different things that go with it so that you're up to speed for whenever that phone might ring or the email might drop in. So I think it's a case of being proactive. I absolutely hate it when people sort of outside of the business say, oh, you're an actor, you must be resting. I think when you're resting is the busiest time of all, because you know you've got to get some money in to pay the bills. They don't go away just because we're not working. In fact, they probably get bigger. So really it's about being proactive, keeping mentally stimulated and physically stimulated. And when you're doing voiceovers as well, I think one of the things that's important is that, well, we all really sort of, I think generally we all dislike the sound of our own voice because it sounds very different acoustically to the way it does when we're actually recording. So the good thing about technology these days is that we have, you know, our iPhones or whatever kind of equipment that we have, that we can actually record little voice memos, or we might even be, you know, very invested and have already got our own microphone. But, you know, if you can record yourself just speaking or saying things, different types of things, play, do your sort of research and try and record yourself and then listen back to it very clinically, and perhaps get somebody else that you know and trust to listen to it as well. Listen to voice coaches, voice classes, do all those sorts of things that as if you would go to the gym and keep your body fit, which you have to do as well. You also need to keep your mind and your timing and your voice as fit as you can, and your breathing. So I would say listen back, get other people to listen back, and then take those notes. The one thing you must do through all of this, though, is keep your true voice as much as possible, because if you start to try and manipulate and sound manufactured, it won't sound truthful. So the truthfulness of it, but also how you can play. You might even discover things that you didn't know you could do. And when you take the visuals out of it, not only does it make you really focus your voice and hear all those little sort of, maybe sort of imperfections, but also it makes you give more energy to it. I know that there was something online once I saw that was Hugh Jackman. He was doing some dubbing actually for I think one of these sort of X-Men films, and they were laughing at him because he was doing all this mad kind of running and he was throwing his arms and he was having to do fight dubbing. So he was going you know, and it's terribly funny to see because it shows you how much you maybe physically have to put in. The one thing you mustn't do is, you know, bang into the furniture because that'll sound on the thing. So those are some of the things that I would say is practice those things in the safety and comfort of your own living room where nobody can particularly see you, and then shove it up on screen. Also, if we are doing sort of, I don't know, if you're doing any kind of home workouts, always at the beginning of them on YouTube or any of those channels, there's usually an advert that you can't skip. So instead of thinking, oh, when is this going to be over? Listen to it. Think, what did that person do for that commercial? What was that voiceover? And I wonder why that voice was chosen for that product, and whether it's something that you could then apply yourself to those different kinds of products. It's just a way of staying interested and active.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I think when I first started out, my mind went to how I need books about voiceovers. I need to read as much as I can about it. When in reality, as you said, it's all these practical things, using your voice, speaking out loud, recording yourself, watching commercials rather than reading. Reading can be a good tool if you've got a great book on voiceovers, but at the same time, you need to be actually using your voice and not sort of just thinking in your head.
Yes, because, you know, we all think we can do all sorts of things, and then when it comes to it, it's a lot harder to do it. And what's really hard is to sound natural. And that's one of the hardest things. That's why a lot of film actors, they are brilliant because they're so good at keeping us engaged while really seemingly doing so little. And that actually, the less you do, the cleverer it is. But, you know, we can all just practice. If you've got your voiceover book, read it out loud, you know, read it out loud, read it in different accents and see, just play. And then, as I say, listen to yourself, listen to other people, get advice, and then make those decisions for yourself, but always remain adaptable. If you're in a voiceover booth, for example, and you've got somebody who says, yeah, I like that bit, but this wasn't, you know, listen perhaps to yourself, because I'll always say, can I hear it for myself? Because I'll take what they have said, because in the translation, I might be getting the wrong end of the stick. So it might be that the word they're choosing to describe something to you is actually not how you relate it, but together you can come up with what they ideally need.
Absolutely. And the more you know your own voice and what you can offer, the more aware you'll be of that. And you can sort of maybe even catch it before they've caught it.
Because so often at the beginning, they'll say, okay, just read something. And a lot of the time, you're just guessing. You know, it's like with auditions and things. You go in and you think, well, what do they want? Half the time they don't even know unless they see it's you or not you. So you just, some of the time you've got to just work it out as a process of elimination. And the more practice you've done at home and the more that you've actually, that you know your own tool, then you can actually deliver what they want.
Yeah, that's all great advice. Thank you so much, Bonnie. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's great to talk.
Well, thank you guys as well for watching Voicebites. I'm Joel Wood, and this has been the fantastic Bonnie Langford. I'm learning a lot from her, and I'm sure you guys are too. Leave us a comment down below, letting us know your opinions on this video, and check out her voiceover profile. It'll be linked in the description. And come back next time for more Voicebites. See you. Bye.
Take care. Bye.